So was that a little bit loud this morning?
It was pretty loud. It was just like, wow.
Yeah.
Chad's like busting out the
hey, you can't go wrong with your childhood dreams. As today's we're going back to the past.
We are. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm excited for it. It's
it's been a while since we've had a guest, so we're excited for him to come on, and he'll be on about 15 minutes or so.
Yeah, he's going to come on about 10, 15 minutes, and we'll chat with him about kind of why he does it. I mean, obviously, I think there's a good reason why he does it, but how he got started. But we got some things to talk about first.
Oh, don't we? What do you want to talk about? You want to talk about
there? MCDC.
MCDC. What does MCDC stand for? Do you know?
We'll look at this. And why got my money up there already?
I don't know. But MCDC is the Motor City Dan Campbell is what they're calling him. So, and you've been saying it all year. We'll talk about it, but he's too aggressive.
Yeah.
You said it many, many times that he was going to he was going to cost his team the game. And did he cost his team the game last night?
I think 100% yes, myself.
Okay.
And the first couple times, I mean, you're ahead. The last one, you're down 3, 7 minutes to go. You got to have a little bit of confidence in your defense. You're at the 27-yard line, and you go for it. There, in an NFC Championship game, I don't care if you're on the road. I don't care if you're at home. I think you have to take the points and tie things up. And
you just got
7 minutes. I mean, 49ers aren't going to have a 7-minute drive. If they do, they're going to score in 5 minutes.
Right. And they still had the 3 timeouts, and they had all that. And I was and both of us were kind of busy yesterday, so I didn't get to watch a whole lot of the game. I did check. I got to catch the last about 5 minutes of it.
Yeah, I got the last the half. I was at halftime when I joined.
Right, okay, gotcha. And it was just I don't know. I was kind of like checking in on ESPN while I was out doing my Sunday things, and so like, holy cow, they were up 24-7. Then all of a sudden, you text me Dan Campbell. I'm like, well, I better check and see what's going on.
Find out if he's going to the Super Bowl or if he's
if he's going to be fired today. Which one is it going to be?
Yeah.
But you can't leave those points on the field, especially on the road. I mean, I think he should have, but what do I know?
Especially in the championship game. I mean, game 8, week 12.
Yeah, go for it.
Cost you the game. It's like, you know what? Hey, we tighten up the straps. We got another game next week. And this one, I mean, then he goes in and I don't have any regrets. I think you do. You got to have regrets. I mean, as a coach, I've been in that situation too. And it's just like end of the game, you're like not in the NFC Championship or going to a championship or anything like that.
Yeah.
But it's if you know in the back of your head, God, that's on me. That game is on me. And you apologize to your players sometimes. Sometimes you just let it lie. But this one has to be he'd have to go in and just say, guys, I know we were all year.
It's kind of what got him there. And, what do his players think today? I know there's a lot of fans out there that are thinking like,
well, nobody's getting thrown under the bus today. I know that.
You don't think they will? You don't think anyone's gonna?
I don't think any players will.
No players gonna. We shouldn't have done that. Just Jared Goff come out and say, "God, that was stupid. We should have put points on the board."
I think at this point, Bill Belichick has a press conference today and said, if I was coaching Detroit, we'd have kicked those 3 points and we'd be in the Super Bowl today.
and he, probably.
Maybe Dan Campbell can go be the offensive coordinator or the tight ends coach for the Detroit Lions.
Well, and unfortunately for Detroit fans, they're in the same boat as Viking fans and Bears fans.
And Bears,
and so it's pretty much it's not playing. my thing's not playing. What's going on?
I see a bunch of Facebook posts. It's like, hey, still proud of my Detroit Lions. Great season. It's like, but man, you get into the playoffs. I mean, to me, I think any year, if you don't make the Super Bowl as a fan, it's just like disappointing. Even as a Bears fan, as many times that we haven't made the playoffs, it's a disappointing season. I think
Yeah.
if the Bears would have made the playoffs and got beat last week, like Green Bay, I'd be disappointed. Like, oh, that was a failure of a season.
And isn't that why you play football? To win a Super Bowl?
I would think so.
You play in the MLB to win the World Series, and you can say, "Boy, we're like, no, you didn't make the goal. The goal was the Super Bowl. Like everybody, every year, it's the Super Bowl." And so Detroit, you gotta and Nolan, you tell me, does those types of losses will that carry over to next year? Will it? Well, and Detroit San Fran will probably be like one of the opening season games next year, and Detroit will win it, and they'll be like, "Yeah, we showed them." It's like, no, you didn't. You know, I mean, it's like a revenge game or whatever they call it. So.
Yeah, I don't know. That's
well, you said it. You said Detroit's going to be back to mediocrity next year, so we'll see.
Well, I mean, looking how the Packers are the Bears are going to be decent. The Vikings see what they say they're going to make a splash in the draft. And I think the Lions, they're going to coast. I think they're going to go, hey, we got our quarterback, our running back, the receivers. I think they're going to.
I think this was their year, and they didn't do it. I mean, if they would have, I think they would have had a pretty good chance to win the Super Bowl had they got to play KC, but we'll see.
I still would have put my money on KC, as I will.
Well, yeah, but we got like 2 weeks before we have to make those bets. You never know.
I know.
Yeah, so
unless Mahomes. Now, I like Mahomes. I like Travis Kelce, but did you see the video of what they did to Justin Tucker?
I did not know.
So Tucker was down near their 30-yard line, 40-yard line, stretching out, getting ready to kick to the opposite field goal. Mm-hmm. Kelce takes his helmet, his 3 footballs, and throws them out of the way. And Tucker's like, you could just see his lips moving, and Mahomes is standing there making passes, and Tucker goes up, and you can see them both exchanging words. I mean, they're just chirping. He goes and sets, the field goal kicking little stand, that tripod.
Yep.
He sets the ball up in that, and he turns around to go take his steps, and Mahomes takes his thing and throws it. And Tucker turns around like, really, man? And then there's a security guard from Baltimore that said something to Mahomes, but I thought, I don't know, I didn't like that. I thought that was it's like, really, guys?
Yeah.
But
is it head games? Did Tucker miss a field goal at all or not? I don't think he did.
I don't know. I don't know if he did, but it would have been cool if Tucker would have like drained a field goal to win it and
had the game winner. Yeah.
I'm going to Disneyland, and Taylor and you are staying home.
Yeah. Yeah. But who knows? So we got the Kansas City Swifts versus the San Francisco 49ers. And it'd probably be a pretty good game. It'll be a good game. Yep.
Hopefully both teams go up right away. And it turns out to be a 52-49 ball game, and
sure,
there's no bad calls. There's no
stupid, anything like that. So what were the colors? What are the colors for the Super Bowl this year? Because you would always tell me, we talked about the script and all that stuff.
Oh, they were purple and were they purple and red?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't buy into the.
Yeah, because then they said, Kansas City's in, but now what do you do with this purple?
Yeah.
So sorry. No, that's San Francisco red, and then there's purple in it. So we're thinking, Ravens should have been in it. We're thinking
the Ravens should have been in it. And next year it's purple and yellow. You told me last.
So it could be Packers Ravens, could be Chargers Vikings, or it could be the Bears. Bears are going to put some purple in their lettering, I heard, this year for the logo.
Okay.
They're going to put the logo on their sleeve.
Whatever it takes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway,
there's always
right
here.
Right. So you had the basketball tournament this weekend. Izzy's team, how'd you guys do?
They finished 4th, had a semifinals. They lost in overtime.
Ouch.
They were up by 4 with I think a minute and a half left, and it was a rough game. I wasn't at that one. I was up in Washburn with Gabby with the varsity, so I missed the first 2. They won the first one, lost in overtime, and then lost to a pretty good team from Mandan for 4th place. So, but overall, good weekend. I think the girls were disappointed, but hey, they're 6th graders, so They got
Plenty more to come. Man.
Yep.
Don't know.
And then was up in Washburn.
Got to answer that phone, brother.
Was up in Washburn on Saturday. Did a little coaching, and then varsity girls got to see the first 1,000 point in my assistant career. So that was.
I know you want. I know you want to answer.
I know I'm distracted. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but Layla Jensen picked up her 1,000th point, and it was pretty cool to see. She's just a down to earth girl. I mean,
Okay.
It was immediate team without you guys, and she was right. I mean, yeah, our team's gotten better, and without her, obviously we'd struggle a little bit. But yeah, it was kind of cool to see. Get to write the article on it today, and it'll be pretty fun to. Yeah, just a good kid, junior. So
Okay. How long has she been playing?
8th grade, she started on varsity.
Okay.
So
Good for her.
And I really put it on to her. I said, as a junior, I said, we've got like, I don't know, maybe 6 to 8 games left, possibly. And I said, hey, good luck the rest of this season. And I said, now the goal's 2,000. And she looked at me like, oh, okay, I'll see what I can do. It only took me 3 years to get to 1,000, but hey, you never know. Never know.
You keep feeding her next year. You never know. You never know how many points a person can get.
You can get another 200, 300 points, 200 points this, you're 800 to go.
Right.
Of course, then you're 24 games. Yeah, you have to average 40 points a ball game, but
right. So like Lily's played soccer for years, and she's always been on kind of like different teams, and they've never had the same team every year. So you always bring in a couple new people, and then and this is just me, and maybe I'm wrong, and maybe you can tell me I'm wrong, but a team gets to know each other as they play throughout the years, and that, hey, if I pass this ball to her, she's going to shoot, she's going to make it, right? I mean, is that like, and I get that playing with different people make you better and all that stuff, but I think when you play with the same team, Lily's got like 5 or 6 girls they're all going to be juniors. Yeah, they're going to be juniors and seniors together, and I think she can tell, hey, go this way. I know Emma's going to run up and so I'm going to get her the ball. I'm going to get her the ball as quick as I can.
Yeah, we see that with our girls, and even just in one season. I mean, we're teaching stuff day one that the girls struggle with, and all of a sudden, game number 11, they do that move, and you're like, yeah, she was listening on day number 1, or. Mm-hmm. We got 2 8th graders that they were playing C squad the other day. A girl came up, did a spin move. The other 8th grader set the screen and rolled, and she lobbed it to her easy too. And I'm like, you could tell they played together since 4th grade because they knew, So yeah, if you play together for what, if you can keep a team together. The only thing that, like when she was an 8th grader, Layla was an 8th grader, she didn't play with her teammates. That's the one thing you worry about. You're like, okay, now when her teammates start playing varsity, is it going to start gelling? And it did, luckily. I mean, I don't think there was any hard feelings. I don't think there was, and you hope there isn't. I mean, when you've got a girl with that talent, and there's girls on that team, we're celebrating 1,000 in a career. There's some girls on that team that are going to have 40 points in their career.
Right.
But you know what? They did other things.
They still got to be on that. They still got to be on that court when she got it. That's a big moment, man.
Well, and they all had assists in the past. They all had rebounds that got her those 2,000 or 1,000 points. So so that was exciting for the Nighthawks to have that happen. We did lose, but overall, I think the team got better, and I think the momentum will push it. We got a game tonight, so let you know how that goes.
Right on. Nolan, no high school team ever. I mean, yeah, you might lose, but it's just great that they're out there and playing and all that sort of thing. So I can't. For me personally, when I was in high school, I loved going to basketball games. I mean, they were some of the most exciting type things going on out there. And my kids don't like going to them. My daughter does now, Lily Rose. She would jump into them, but my other 3 were just like, yeah, it's kind of boring. So
yeah,
but
we took our kids to a lot of boring things. So
yeah, well, that's true too. That's true. So our guest coming on? Is he having a little problem getting on, or
I'm
is
not
he?
sure. No, I just went on the Facebook to check out, make sure I've got it up here. Blast of the Past ND has 13,000 followers.
Yes.
So hopefully we'll get him on here. He hasn't replied to my text this morning.
And he is on vacation as well, right?
Yeah, that's going to be another thing that
maybe you never know. He might have had a good time on vacation last night. And he still could be sleeping, but I've never met him. And Becky, my wife's obviously from North Dakota, so she's like, "Well, did he ever go to rugby? Has he ever been to a high school game in rugby?" And I said, "Well, I can ask him when he comes on."
Yeah, odds are he has. I don't think he's ever been to Hettinger. I think I'm going to throw that to him. Say, hey, you've been to all these gyms. When are you going to come down to Hettinger? You've got about 3 weeks left.
Well, but I did see that. Oh, I am here. Haven't gotten a link. Did you send him a link?
I did send him a link.
Okay.
Are you going to send him a link?
I will send him. You send him the link, or just invite him. I think you got to invite him through our. Do you have his email?
Yes, the organization. I can't email from this computer.
Okay. Send me his email and I will send him the link. So, Blaine, we are working on it, my friend. We'll get you on here as quick as we can.
Is he listening? He must be listening.
Well, he says, "Hi, guys. I am here, but haven't gotten a link," is what the message is. So we will get him. We will get him that link while you send me that email. Yeah, he gave us an LOL, and I'm gonna, you know what, Nolan, I'm gonna blame it on you. I'm gonna blame it on a North Dakota kid.
Yeah, I tell you. And you know what? I'm sitting there going, okay, how do I copy and paste this to a text so you can see it right away?
Yeah, there you go. Well, you could just give me his email.
Well, I'm wondering if I got him. Obviously, without him responding to my text, I'm thinking he hasn't responded to the last 4 texts, so maybe that's a thing that he hasn't gotten.
Okay, well, why don't you give me his email right now?
I just sent it to you.
Oh, did you? Okay.
Phone, yep.
There we go.
So yeah. So anyway, he's on Facebook. We'll talk about him a little bit before he comes on. 13,000 followers. We'll talk to him about when he started this, how he got into it. Obviously, I think we can kind of figure out, how he got into it. Just the fact that he probably loves sports.
That would be probably a good thing. So, okay, come on, message and send.
There you go.
There. He should have it.
Okay.
There you go, Blaine. It should be on the way for you there. Or Blair.
His wife's birthday today.
Is it really? Well,
yeah.
All right. Yeah. I think I was calling him.
I got to ask him if he stole that. He's got a quote in there, and there's a song out called "The Painter." He put on there, and "She has been my painter of my life." I like it.
Yeah, you can't be calling him on that, brother.
No, I thought it was cool though. I mean, that's
okay.
No.
Yeah, I got Mrs. Decker's birthday is coming up here pretty quick. So
yeah, it was Mr. Decker, and then right around the same time.
Well, Mr. and Mrs. Decker have actually the same birthday.
Yeah.
So
and weird little tidbit on Mr. Dix here.
Yeah.
I have 2 friends that have their birthdays with their spouses. How crazy is that? Yeah. I don't know if that's very odd, but
well, when you're twins, I mean, that's when you have the same birthday. But
okay.
Yeah. So I get better reaction from people than what I just got from you. So, and Blair, we sent you an email. So if you want to hop onto that,
I sent him his cell number's right, and I sent that stuff to him there. So
okay.
Hopefully I wonder where he's at in vacation.
That could be a problem too.
Any guesses? Any guesses?
I'm
gonna think somewhere where there's basketball being played.
That would be my guess. I'm gonna say it's probably more like a staycation.
Yeah,
but we'll see. It'll be interesting to see. And
I'm gonna guess either Florida or says still haven't got it.
It says the ad, he didn't get it because it came back and said that the address wasn't right. Did you send me the right address?
I copied and pasted.
Oh, okay. This is
We-
good. No,
He's in Florida. Nailed it. There you go.
is he? Good
Yep.
man. Good man.
All right. So you
So
ready? I'll give you his email because I mean,
I got it right here. I'm just sending it.
So how about that Dan Campbell? Huh?
Yeah, how about it? So I have BLAIRPAUL 715 at yahoo.com.
Yes, and maybe check your spam because Chad's emails sometimes go to spam. I don't know.
Well,
No, they don't.
He's probably
I-
going to get about 50 emails here.
Yeah, that's about like with the radio station. We send in. I'll send something, and it'll go to my spam all the time too. So
Yeah, I do that. So you always got to check. So we'll send it one more time, and then we'll I don't know. Maybe he could call your phone like we did in the old days when you would just hold my
Just put it
phone
up
next
to
to the mic. Yeah, next to the microphone. But we'll see if he gets in. It's technology is fantastic when it works.
when it
you
works,
think?
yeah. Because I
It's
mean, we've
great.
had others come in, so
Yeah.
hopefully he's refreshing, and
And we'll get it. And
we're already cutting into his vacation time already. So, but if you have any questions for Blair this morning from Blast of the Past, North Dakota, put those on the chat over here, and we'll be able to ask him, or you can ask him whatever you want
well, not whatever you want. I mean, well,
about sports, about the
Yeah.
past,
yeah, you
about the
can't-
past.
yeah. Hey, there he comes.
There he comes. All
Yeah,
right, let's
bring
add
him
him on
in.
stage right away. Oh,
Oh,
There we go.
I hit. All right. Hey, look at that. Hey, Blair. Thanks for sticking around and being able to get in.
Hey, no problem. I'm glad I was listening, so I knew you guys were actually trying to get a hold of me.
yeah. Well, we're getting a little worried. It's like 9:17. He's like, so did you send him the link? I'm like,
I didn't get one earlier. I don't know what happened, but it just came through. So
all right. Well, I
Well-
sent you 4 texts, so those should all come probably when you go back home, and it'll all-
most likely,
Yeah. Looks like you're down in Florida, is what I read, right?
yep.
So,
We're in. Actually, we're staying in Orlando, but I was looking through your guys' page, and I see one of you two at least was in St. Pete about 3-4 weeks ago. We were just over in St. Pete yesterday. So
okay, gotcha. Yeah, my daughter plays soccer, and we were down there for a soccer tournament, and we had some time, and she said, "Can we go to the beach?" And I said, "You bet we can." And so we had a good time down there. Very nice beach.
That's good.
Nice
Well,
area.
it's cold. It was cold yesterday, and it's sunny today, but it's only like 55, 56 degrees right now.
That's
but you're on-
t-shirt weather in North Dakota.
Yeah, I'm happy, but
Yeah. And you're on vacation, so it doesn't really matter, right?
Correct,
Is that
correct.
Yeah. So, but well, we appreciate you taking your time today and talking to us. So, first question I have to ask: my wife's from Rugby, North Dakota, and she wants to know: have you ever been to a game in Rugby, North Dakota?
Rugby, North Dakota. Never heard of rugby. Not just
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
You can tell her that. I'm not going to say that.
I've been to a handful of games for rugby. I'm actually from the Minot area. I grew up in a small town of Glenburn. And then, of course, I had kids that played ball, and rugby was in our region, so we played them pretty much every year. So
Okay. Gotcha.
So what got you rolling in this Blast of the Past? I know kind of work your way up to what did you do before you started this Facebook page?
Well, this is my hobby. Well, what started the page was when COVID hit back in 2020, there was no sports. And for a long time, I've always wondered what happened to the people I played ball against. So I actually contacted the local newspaper and kind of gave them this idea that they should do a where are they now type thing on past North Dakota athletes. And of course, personally, I was looking at basketball in general, just because that's the sport most people follow the closest, and also the faces are most recognizable. So they were lukewarm on the idea. So I decided I'm not a writer at all, but I decided I would try to do something. And originally I just had a web page, and I wrote stories, and they were like 5 to 9 pages long, and they took me about 3 weeks each to write, and that was just too cumbersome and too much time for as little views as I figured I was going to get, because my first followers, of course, were Facebook friends and friends of mine, so it started off small. So after doing 4 or 5 stories like that, I decided to just do the little clips that I'm assuming you've seen, the Where Are They Now clips on the Facebook page, and those have gone over really, really well, and so it's just taken off. I didn't know if I was going to do this for 3 months, 6 months, 3 or 4 episodes or segments, but it just took off, and it's just been growing since. So I've been enjoyed it, and of course, then this past basketball season, now I started incorporating what's going on, now this year and stuff like that, instead of just all past stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
And yeah, I mean, I look back at a lot of the stuff. I see Munich on there. I grew up a Starkweather Storm King. So we went to state back in '87. I was a fan at that point. I was a freshman, I think, in school. So yeah, looking back at some of these years, Marty McDonald in Munich, that was that '88. I think they went to state and won it.
Well, he was 92, I think.
Or 92. Yeah. Guy graduated in 90. He would have been 91, 92. Yeah. Yep.
So no, I enjoyed kind of going back and looking at being a married into a North Dakota family. Some of the smaller towns I recognize. I'm like, wow, this is pretty cool. So how do you gather all that information there, Blair? Are you going into old newspapers and all that sort of thing, or?
Yeah, I have a newspaper subscription to an old newspaper, and which is the Bismarck Tribune. So that's where I get a lot of my information from. My dad had some old books, like history of North Dakota high school basketball. Also a book called Monte Mayport that had all the stories from 1961 to 1996 or 97. I can't remember what year. That had all the box scores and just a little write-up of each one. So that was a good place to find a lot of my box scores.
Okay.
When I do like a tournament recap, I'll read the newspaper clippings and then just kind of put my own words into it and just shorten it way up. So it's not, too long. My personal opinion is when I read something, if it's longer than 1 to 3 minutes, I lose interest, and I didn't want my stories to be, or my segments to be longer than 3 minutes to read.
Gotcha.
So now I held up a Hoopster. These guys have helped you out probably quite a bit, right? To be able to dig back. And Don Hansen, once he started this, there's a lot of info in these books for girls and boys.
Yeah, the Hoopster's been a lot of help, especially a lot of these, when I contact people, they send me most of their information, but a lot of them don't know their stats. And so a lot of the stats I get out of the Hoopster, but also a lot of especially if they're in the Bismarck area, I can get a lot of the stats out of the Bismarck Tribune too.
Oh, okay.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, and you've kind of went back and found people. Just find them through Facebook. Is that what you do, or do you know somebody that knows somebody and kind of put you in touch with them?
As I've gotten more and more followers, I have somebody that knows somebody's help. But when I first started, it's like, okay, I can't reach them from my Facebook page, from my blast page, unless they contact me first. So I have to contact them through my personal page. And of course, if you get something from somebody you don't know on a personal page, a lot of times people don't look at it, because you can tell if people have read it or seen it. And a lot of times, I'd say 50% of the time or more, people don't even click on it to read it because they don't know the name. So that was tough, especially early on.
Sure.
But now I can contact people and say, hey, I see you're a Facebook friend with such and such. Can you just tell them to look at their messages?
Oh, there you go. So North Dakota has been talking about 3-class system for quite a while. Finally hit it this year for girls and boys basketball. Do you like it? What's your opinion on a 3-class system? I know there's other states that have 4 classes or 3 classes, but North Dakota definitely needed a 3-class. What are your opinion?
Well, if you would have asked me 5 years ago, I would have said North Dakota doesn't need a 3-class system, or I wasn't in favor of it. Over the last couple of years, I was, and I'm really enjoying this year with the 3 classes. I really thought the old would be now the AA teams would dominate. And the only team that looks like they're really dominating there or could dominate would be the Devils Lake boys. But I think that they Devils Lake, in the girls division, there's no old Class A dominating the boys. Devils Lake, I think, even though they're ranked second right now, I think they're the best team in the state. I've seen Kindred play. I've seen Devils Lake play, and Devils Lake just looks phenomenal. And of course, just last week, they just beat a very good AA team in Grand Forks Central. So, but overall, I'm really enjoying it. The B's been fun to watch around my area in Minot. Bishop Ryan's good, and West Hope Newburgh's really good. West Hope Newburgh's really fun to watch, and I've enjoyed going to a bunch of games, both boys and girls.
Yeah, down in this area, we've got Bowman County, who is number one in the state in the boys. Seen them play a couple times, and man, they're good. I don't think they're going to get beat before the state tournament. Girls are ranked 5th. Their 2 losses have been out of state, I believe.
Yep.
But yeah, down in this area, I mean, small town Hettinger, Scranton, we got this 3-class system. We're loving it due to the fact that you are going to see maybe a Flasher, Garrison, teams like that in the state tournament rather than, because I think the boys down here, we saw, I don't know how many years in a row, but it was Trinity and Beulah in the region championship, like 12 years in a row, 13. Yep. I mean, it was something that, hey, we have the best team we've had in 20 years. And it's like, oh wait, we got to beat Trinity and Beulah. So I think that's the bonus of a 3-class system. The A teams, some of the people you talk there, they don't like it, but they can't beat up on the small kids anymore. So,
well, I mean, you're always going to have, for lack of a better word, the little sisters of the poor, in every division. I mean, example, this year I look at Class A. Carrington and girls is very good, but Carrington and boys is down, and that's going to be cyclical. I think, I would say 8 or 9 out of 10 years, Devils Lake's going to be better than Carrington, but you're going to have that one year where Carrington is better, or 2 years out of 10 that Carrington is better. But I think that's what makes it fun of getting to the state tournament for the teams that are a little bit smaller in the division. You're always going to have one team, no matter how many divisions you make, you're going to have really poor teams and you're going to have really good teams. And sometimes those scores are going to be 40, 50 points difference.
Yeah. Yeah. And I as a radio broadcaster down here in this area, you hate going on a 2-hour trip to watch a 40-point blowout. I mean, it's just, what's going to happen because you're going up against the beast so it is nice when you're on the road. This year, it's like, man, I mean, other than Bowman number 1, 2 through 8 or 9 is got a shot to get to a state tournament.
Yeah. I won't get to see Bowman this year unless they get to the state tournament, but I would love to be able to get to a game before the regular season's over just to see them in person. I know I saw them at the state tournament last year, but I'm assuming those Duffield boys are, just that much better.
A little bit better. Yeah. They're pretty smooth. I know they don't have much of an inside game, but they really don't need to when they're hitting the threes and those guys are driving. I mean, it's an impressive Bowman County team, that's for sure.
Yeah. So that's good for that area of the state for sure.
Yeah. Yep.
And Nolan he says you haven't made it to a game in Hettinger yet. So when are you gonna come down that way?
I think I've been through Hettinger once or twice in my life, but I don't know that I've ever actually stopped in Hettinger. So
we didn't have nothing that enticing you weren't on E or anything. You just kept going. You probably blinked and you went through.
Yeah. I don't know exactly where I mean, I know right approximately where it's at, but I've been down the Enchanted Highway and then went over. So I think I went through it that time.
Yeah. Yeah. You'd have been close. But, yeah. No. Yeah. Hettinger's, we're 40 miles east of Bowman and just near the border. So, yeah.
Yeah. Well, one of my very first stories was on Jeremy Bleem, who went to school in Hettinger from Lodgepole. Yep. He was one of my very first ones. So,
okay.
And then then of course, the name Teddy Euchre. I know he follows me closely on the Facebook page. He's making comments and sharing my page and stuff like that. So I appreciate that if he's by chance listening. So
yeah, 83 they won the championship.
Yep.
State championship. So that was kind of nice for a small town. It's like when you look back, you're like, God, we won the state championship back then. That was kind of cool. So yeah, anything can happen in basketball. Now you just do basketball, right?
99.9. I found an old wrestling article or booklet one time, so I put a little post on that. But the reason I picked basketball, first of all, I love North Dakota high school basketball. But the reason I picked it is the faces are most recognizable. When you go to the state tournament, and the kids played, especially the ones that played in the state tournament, you don't forget those faces when you see them up on a screen. Or a football player, football's big in North Dakota, but they're wearing helmets. Most people don't know what these guys look like, so you do a story on them, and I think that would go over good too. But I don't think it goes over like basketball. Basketball's the king in North Dakota.
Yep. Yeah. And wrestling, the names. I mean, you hear a last name, you're like, hey, I remember that. They were dominant in New Salem for all those years. So, yeah. But no, that's kind of cool. I ran across the Blast for the Past and a while back and followed a little bit, and I thought, what the heck? Let's get him on the podcast. And we started this back in March.
Okay.
And we've grown from no viewers to I think we're at 1.3 million. Chad?
Yeah. Give or take a few in those days. So
yeah.
Hey Blair, I wanted to add. Sounds like you've followed high school basketball for a long time. So what's the biggest change you've seen in the last maybe 5-10 years in high school?
That's perfect years to say, because I just feel basketball has exploded with the athleticism these kids have. Of course, the training that they're able to get. Basketball has just exploded. The athleticism. My oldest boy graduated 15 years ago, and he was a pretty decent athlete. But nothing like these kids that are playing today. It's just incredible how much athleticism they have. I mean, jumping 40 inches in the air and dunking the ball in 7th and 8th grade. It's just incredible. The agility they have. And then of course I see some of these agility drills and I'm going, wow, why didn't people think about this 15 years ago or 40 years ago when I played, or 50, I guess it's now. Yeah. So 40 some years ago since I played. It's just incredible.
Well, and when you go to a state track meet, I mean, it happens everywhere. It's like there's records still being broken every year. It's like, how is a kid going to get faster every year? And it seems like 1 second is taken off the record. It seems like every couple of years, and it's just like kids are getting faster and faster. And yeah, it's crazy. I mean,
but there has to be an end at some point, right? I mean, a 100-yard dash, if you're doing it in 10 seconds, you can't get down to 5 ever, can you?
No, you wouldn't think so. My other question for you, Blair, did you watch football games last night?
Actually, my wife and I were over in St. Pete, Clearwater yesterday, so we did not get to see any football games. I didn't even find out who won till like 11 o'clock last night. So.
Okay. So what's your opinion on Dan Campbell? You like him as a head coach, you think?
I love him as a coach, but I'd also love to coach against him because he likes to give up some games. I can tell you that. As a Viking fan, a couple years ago, Detroit had the Vikings beat, and I don't remember exactly what happened, but all I know is he made a decision that helped the Vikings win a game.
Yeah. That's his MO. So we've been saying that all season. Well, actually, Nolan's been talking about it more, and he's just saying that Dan Campbell's going to cost them a big game. And I hate to say this, but Nolan was right.
Yeah, I love him as a coach. I think he's a good motivator. I think the players really like him, but he's a risk taker, and I just heard a little bit about a half hour before I came on here about what happened last night. So, yeah, I'm assuming it was really a stupid mistake not to kick field goals, but I haven't seen the replay or anything. So,
yeah, I wouldn't waste my time. Just wait for the Super Bowl. So,
yeah,
no, but
we're not big Lion fans here. So just
no.
Oh, you're not. Okay.
No, Chad's a Viking fan, so I guess you coming on as a Viking, we'll deal with. I'm a Bears fan, so we kind of butt heads every week, and it's kind of fun.
Well, I'm a pessimistic Vikings fan. Let's just put it that way.
There you go.
I got to see the 76 game against the Cowboys when the Cowboys beat the Vikings. So.
Okay. Wow. Yeah.
Well, my dad's a big Viking fan, and for probably about 20 years now, he keeps saying at Christmas time, he goes, as soon as the Vikings win the Super Bowl, I'm getting my Viking leather jacket. So he saved money over the last 20 years. I don't know if he's ever going to see one in his lifetime. He's 78, I think. So,
well,
I don't know.
Well, all I can say is if I live till the Vikings win a Super Bowl, I may live forever.
There you go.
We'll be good and ripe is what we will be, right? But
Yeah.
that's I think that's so.
What's the plan today then? You gonna go out surfing, or you gonna?
Well, I will publicly say it's my wife's third anniversary of her 50th birthday.
Oh, very
Okay.
nice.
So-
Happy-
Happy
So
birthday to
we
her.
actually are going to meet a girlfriend of hers down here that's moved down here just in the last year. So that's our plan today. Today was actually supposed to be cold and cloudy, I thought, but it's sunny. The temperature's only going to be in the low 60s, but we're just going to go have lunch and then see what the day brings. We really had no itinerary for ourselves this vacation, which is kind of unusual for my wife.
But that's a good thing, though.
Yeah,
sometimes.
vacations are good. So, will you catch any high school basketball games down in Florida, or is it? I think
No.
it might be out of season right now. I think
Yeah.
they're more into the different sports right now.
I don't know what's big down here at this time of year, but I'm assuming baseball will be kicking up pretty soon if it hasn't already down here.
Yeah, for sure. So, all right. Well, we will let you get back to your vacation, and then appreciate you coming on today here for us. And
Well, thanks for inviting me. It's been a joy. You guys are great. So
yeah,
Okay, well, appreciate it, and
yeah.
get all 13,000 of your viewers to come on over, and
I'll be
push our-
reposting it. So
All right. So, and then check them out. Blast the Past North Dakota got some great looking back in the past years to see some players that did some marvelous things and what they're doing now. That was kind of the neat part,
Yeah.
Like some of them have went on to coach and all those sort of things. So that's those are great to be able to tell those stories. And I think the people that you do them on probably are pretty appreciative. So
some of them come back and tell me, man, I haven't talked to some of these people that have texted me in 10, 15, 20 years. So it was nice to reminisce, finding the stuff for me. And then it's also been nice when people contact them after they see the segment. So
yeah. There's been some nice comments said about people, like not only are they a great athlete, but they're a
Right.
great person. I mean, everybody loves a compliment. So kudos to you, Blair, for doing that.
All right.
That's great. So
well, thank you. And again,
Yeah.
thank you. Thanks for having me on. God bless. Take care.
All right,
Okay.
thanks, Blair.
thank you,
Have a good
sir. Yep.
You bet. Bye-bye.
one. All right, so there you go.
There you go.
Blast
Yeah.
of the Past, ND.
Yeah.
He mentioned baseball. 12 days until pitchers and catchers report.
Look out.
25 days until spring training. 60 days till opening day.
Look
That was
out.
yesterday. So move
That
everything
was-
up. one day.
okay. All right. So, I'm jealous he's in Florida because he's on vacation, but what's weather in Heidegger going to be about 55 degrees today?
We're supposed to be sunny, and I know we're in the 50s. We're 50s until probably through the weekend, I believe.
All right. Okay. Yeah. We're in the 40s right now, but we have a first sunny day we've had in like 4 or 5. So I have a couple meetings and then I'm hoping to get outside and just catch some of that vitamin D going on there.
Well, we got 56 today, 62 on Tuesday, 60 on Wednesday.
So you're Florida weather right now, brother.
I got to get the lawnmowers out, get them oil changed, and ready for spring.
There you go. Put the snowblower away and get ready. So
Yeah, there you go.
I was talking with some parents over the weekend. I was at a wrestling tournament on Saturday, and we were talking about how nice it was. And one guy went and said it. He said, "Boy, March is going to be rough." And we're all like,
I've heard that from numerous people. And April. In April,
Yeah.
I heard a big blizzard in
yeah.
April.
Yeah, but if I'm okay if it's going to snow a lot. I'm cool with that. It's those minus temperatures, buddy.
Yeah,
I just
I know.
can't. When it hits 0. I mean, I know 0 is different than 20 below, but when it's 0, it's just miserable. I mean, it's
Yeah,
miserable.
and then you always have wind, so
Yeah,
that makes it
for
even
sure.
worse.
Even worse. So, but all right. Well, we are at 45, so I know we went over a little bit than what we normally do, but that's okay.
Yeah. We were just going to touch on two money wise.
Yep.
Football. We each gained some money. You're now with my $1,000 win in the fantasy lineup. I'm now within 4,000 with Super Bowl to go.
Yes, and we will be betting 2,000 on the Super Bowl, so it could end up.
I'm betting 8,300 on the Chiefs.
You're gonna do it all. You're going all in. You're gonna Jim Fossil it. Put
I
your
got
chips
nothing
in.
else left in the tank, man. I think I'll probably go 4,300 Chiefs and 4,000 over.
So here's the fun part: is like I can bet the same as you. So you know. Yeah, I haven't decided yet. I haven't. I'm sure there's an early point spread out, but we're not going to make our picks until.
No. We'll
Next
wait till Taylor Swift could break up with Travis Kelce. That could be a 6-point swing right there. You know,
there it is. There it is. But
the opening. Let's see here. San Francisco favored by 1.
by 1.
By 1 point. Yep.
And I believe both teams travel well, and Vegas isn't far from either place. So I don't think there's a real.
Yeah, it's going to be just fine.
Yep.
It's not going to be like 2006 when the monsoon rolled through and the Bears. Yeah, that was the Bears Super Bowl when the rain.
You know, maybe we go to Vegas for Super Bowl weekend.
Oh gosh, get some media passes. I think we probably had to apply for the media passes back in August, probably.
We better start working on those for the Bears Super Bowl.
There you go.
You notice I didn't say next year, but anyways, so
due time.
And then Nolan did win the fantasy football. He picked the players. It was a pretty rough outing for me again. Like I said, I'm not good at that anymore. I haven't done it for a long time, and it was what was it, like 56-22? You beat me.
I had 52-22, but I didn't even add up what the 49ers defense got me, or I quit after McCaffrey and Mahomes. I mean,
yeah, you were good. McCaffrey pretty much beat me on his own, so good for him. Good for him. Good for you, Nolan. You won $1,000. Way to go, buddy.
Yes, and I did win another bet over the weekend. So
you did.
Gonna put some coin toward the Super Bowl. Last bet of the year for NFL. We didn't bet a lot of NFL this year.
Okay.
So I don't know how rich I could have been, but
you're a professional again.
There you go. Yeah, no, not quite. Yeah, so I see on your thing you've been to KC and San Fran. I've been to KC.
Yes.
I went to the Bears Chiefs game quite a few years ago when Cutler and Forte were playing.
Okay.
I've never been to San Francisco, been to LA.
Yeah.
But never been to San Fran.
Been to LA. It was actually this time last year. The whole family was in San Francisco. We were celebrating Becky's milestone 29th birthday, which is coming up. She's got another 29th birthday coming up here very shortly.
Okay. There you go.
There we go. But no trip planned this year. Just got some trips planned later in the year for Lily's soccer thing. So we had to.
Oh yeah. Yeah, because that'll be. Yeah, that's
coming up.
4 years left to that.
Yes. Yeah. But it's all good, all fun, and hopefully she plays in college too, so we can go watch that. So
there we go.
All right, my man. Well, I do have to get ready for some meetings. Unfortunately, I do have to work today.
You do have to work today, huh?
Yeah, I could sit and chat with you all day long, and we usually do, but
we could, yeah.
And we usually do, but I'm sure we will touch base, and we're gonna see if we can find a few more guests. So if some of our listeners out there know of somebody that's interesting and they would be a good guest, let us know. Shoot us an email, put it on our Facebook page, call us, whatever. You know how to get a hold of us.
Yeah. And, Dan Campbell wants to come on. Dan Campbell.
No. I'm out.
Oh yeah.
I'm out, boy. No.
Yeah, but he'd motivate you though.
He sure would. And Blair was correct. He's a good motivator. He's I'm not a big risk taker myself. I know you kind of are.
I mean, I'd probably go for it occasional, but yeah,
I don't know. Yeah, I would.
Some of the times he did was just like, oh, okay, you don't do it there.
Yeah,
In their
like
territory.
you said, week 8, you're down 7, and you're maybe, but I don't know.
Not when you could kick a field goal and tie it up with 7 minutes to go.
In a conference championship game.
Yeah.
To play the next biggest game there is.
Yep.
But so there you go. So, all right, buddy. Well, what else? You got anything else you want to get off your chest before we roll?
No, I just think no, I don't. No, I think we're good till this weekend, and
we'll be back probably Thursday or Friday. And what are we going to do? We don't have any games to talk about, really.
Well, we can dabble in the Super Bowl a little bit, and we can NBA. We can kind of talk about that, and Major League Baseball's coming around the corner.
Yep. Yep. We could talk a little bit about that. So we're gonna be all right.
So
We will be all right, my man. We got things to talk about. Okay.
yep.
Let me see if I can find our song. I don't even know where our song to go bye-bye is to.
Oh boy.
Yeah, life's got a case of the Mondays here, Nolan. I'm going to tell you that right now.
I know. I'm about 80%. You know what's on the back of your wall there?
Which way? This way?
The other way. Yeah, it looks like there's like a silhouette of somebody's face. It's like that looks like an eye.
It looks like an eye. That is actually Noah's Ark. It's the first
Oh, okay.
picture I bought Becky when Noah was born. Noah's our oldest boy, so it is hanging in our room.
And it looks like it's the start side of a face if you look at it on your screen.
Okay. Yeah, no. And then on this side, you can see my bass guitar setup. So that's where
Okay, and right directly behind you is the workbench. So